Chapter 18 of Mental Fascination. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Sandra Knight. www.sandraknight.net. Mental Fascination by William Walker Atkinson. Chapter 18. Eye Expression. Next in order in our list of instruments of mentative expression is the eye, that most wonderful of all the human organs, and which is as much an instrument for all the expression of mentative force as it is an instrument for receiving the sense impression of sight. Let us consider it in its former aspect, the eye as a suggestive instrument. In the first place, the eye is one of the most potent and effective instruments of suggestion, although I have not included it in that class. The expression of the eye will induce mental conditions in others along the lines of suggestion, and those who understand and have mastered this art of using the eyes have at their disposal a wonderful instrument of suggestive influence. Those of us who have ever met a very magnetic man or a charming and fascinating woman have carried away with us a lively recollection of the expression of the eyes of such a person. Actors and public speakers, as well as those whose business it is to meet and impress people, often make a close study of eye impression in order to produce a heightened effect along these lines. While this phase of the subject belongs more properly to the various schools of expression in various parts of the country, it may be worthwhile to pause a moment and examine some of the leading principles of this art of eye expression, considered without reference to the phase of mentative energy. Exercises in eye expression. Begin by studying your eyes in a mirror. You will see that in the center of the eyeball there is a black spot. This is called the pupil of the eye. The larger circle surrounding the pupil is called the iris. The white of the eye surrounds the iris. The upper eyelid moving over the eyeball produces a variety of expressions, each giving to the face a totally different appearance, expression of suggestive meaning. We all recognize the meaning of these different expressions, but very few of us understand the mechanism producing the expression. Standing before your mirror, study these various expressions. The following exercises may help you. Eyelid exercises. 1. Hold the upper eyelid in such a position that its edge rests halfway between the pupil and top of the iris. This gives an expression of calmness. 2. Rest the edge of the upper eyelid at the top of the pupil. This gives an expression of indifference. 3. The edge of the eyelid resting at the top of the iris gives an expression of strong interest. 4. The edge of the eyelid resting halfway over the pupil gives an expression of deep thought. 5. The edge of the eyelid resting just above the edge of the iris, and thus showing a narrow strip of white between the edge of the lid and the edge of the iris, gives an expression of emotional activity. 6. The above position, exaggerated so as to show as much of the white as possible between the edge of the iris and the edge of the lid, will give an expression of emotional excitement. How to practice the exercises. Teachers of the art of expression instruct their pupils to practice the above expressions and positions. They find that with a little practice nearly everyone may easily acquire the art of expression in the first 4 exercises, but that the last 2 are more difficult of acquirement. The last exercise, emotional excitement, especially, is found to be quite difficult at attainment, and teachers claim that but a small percentage are able to produce the expression without considerable practice. Practice these movements until you can reproduce them without the aid of the mirror, just as a man may learn to shave without a mirror, by constant practice before one. The exercises will not only enable you to express the different mental states easily and freely, but will also tend to strengthen the muscles and nerves of the eyes themselves, providing that you proceed gradually, and do not overtask the eyes at the beginning. Do not scowl or contract the brows in the practices. A few minutes at a time is all that you should use in practicing. The 7th exercise. When you have mastered the above exercises, especially numbers 5 and 6, you may try the following, which is the most difficult of all. 7. Rest the eyelid in the position of strong interest, number 3, and then at the same time lift the edge of the underlid to the lower edge of the pupil. This position gives the expression of close scrutiny. The power of expression. You will be surprised at the added power of expression that the careful practice of the above exercises will give you. You will be able to manifest more suggestive feeling and will induce emotional states of feeling in others. A little practice will give you such convincing proof of this that you will not need urging to further perfect yourself in them. The expressions of emotional activity and emotional excitement especially will produce a startling result if used on appropriate occasions when you wish to exhibit the appearance of the deepest emotional excitement and force. Development exercises. The following development exercises are highly recommended by teachers who have devoted years of study and practice along these lines. 1. Open the eyes quite widely, but not so widely as to strain them, and hold them in that position for a few seconds, gazing into your mirror, which must be directly in front of you on a level with your eyes. While gazing, open them a trifle wider still, without straining, and throw an intense expression into them. Do not move the eyebrows, but allow them to remain normal. 2. Resume the above position and then change to the expression of strong interest. See previous exercises. Looking at yourself in the glass just as you would in looking at another person with that expression. 3. Resume position 1 and then gradually change to the expression of emotional activity. See previous exercises. Gazing at yourself in the mirror. 4. Resume position 1 and then gradually change to the expression of emotional excitement. See previous exercises. Gazing at yourself in the mirror. 5. Resume position 1 and then gradually change to the expression of close scrutiny. See previous exercises. Gazing at yourself in the mirror. In the above exercises, you must act as if the reflection of yourself in the mirror were in reality another person whom you wished to influence. The better you act this out, the better your results will be. 6. Practice the expression of strong interest on persons to whom you are listening until you feel that you have awakened a response in them. I may add that the expression of deep interest consists of but the same expression heightened by more feeling behind it, and the expression of loving interest is the same, only more so. This more feeling may be either real or assumed, as in the case of the good actor. 7. Practice the expression of close scrutiny upon other persons upon appropriate occasions in which you desire to appear as taking a deep, critical interest in some proposition, undertaking, theory, etc. Many persons have built up a reputation for being good listeners and keen observers by this practice. I mention it for what it may be worth to you. I am merely giving you the rules of the game, not necessarily advising you to play it. End of Chapter 18.